Today we're unveiling 7 more tips that'll take your project from, that's all right, yeah, you did good, to absolutely jaw-dropping. Welcome back to the Den, Authentic Barnwood. My name is Troy, and today we're going to be diving deep. But first, if you're new here, you're going to want to consider subscribing. That includes those that have followed us along for the last couple of years as well. Go ahead and hit subscribe, it's time. Here's why. You know, the old saying, did you grow up in a barn? Because it might smell like it if you don't clean it. No problem, got you covered. Try this. Oh, Jesus. Hey. Film in here. This actually works really, really well. I prefer something just a little bit coarser. Hold on, I think I got one right here. What do we got here? Oh, yes. This one here's got nice coarse. You can even hear the difference, eh? Often we'll use this exact same thing out of the building prior to even taking the wood off. And the finishing touch after brushed off, of course, try and do this outside or in a well-vented area, is to blow it off with air. Literally, this is probably the hugest tip because that barnwood just transforms right in front of your eyes. We got a little tip for you to help you along as you're making your cuts, because you're going to be using a miter saw like this all day long. There's different colors there. Well, that's tear out because it's actually ripped some of the fibers of the board off, and once removed you can see like newer wood. That right there over a complete feature wall is definitely noticeable, and you'll have a look at this one here and there's no tear out at all. I know they can be a little bit expensive, but a new blade, you'll be able to use this for other projects too. Number one, right there. That's gonna give you the best chance of having no tear out. What I recommend for barnwood is to cut it top down, okay? Here, let me show you. You get that nice clean cut. You decide. Where there is a little bit of tear out, right? And especially on the ends as well. Consider that when preparing your wood to go up on the wall. You're ready to start your feature wall and you've got that stack of wood and you just want to start putting those big rectangles on the wall. Well, before you do that, think trim. This is what you want to put on first, and the reason why is that you can box out exactly where you want your wall. It'll give you that perfect square, rectangle, or shape that you're looking for. Now, not only is this trim used to box in the ends, it's also used in switches, plugins, windows, doors, you name it. Anything on the wall that you want to box out, you can do it. You can also do it for added wow factor, making some sort of a design. It's all up to you at this point. There are a few tools that you're gonna need, and you don't need the most expensive, you don't need the biggest, the best. You just need what you need to make this work. Now, a lot of us can go ahead and ask the neighbor, or maybe we have a friend that has some woodworking tools. Most notably is the miter saw, like in the last tip. That right there is a 12-inch miter saw. It like slides and tilts, and it does a lot except clean up after itself. Down in the description, if you wanna look through some of the tools that we recommend using for creating these feature walls, we've curated a list and put it on our Amazon storefront. So they're all right there if you just want to have a look through. The one thing that no one really mentions about tools is that you can buy tools and you can also sell tools. In the past, what we've done before, when we need a specific tool, we'll go ahead and purchase and we'll get used to it, we'll use it, and we'll complete our project. Then from there, we'll go ahead and relist it for sale. Reduce the price maybe 20% or so, and boom, you've just made someone else's day and you collected most of your money back. It's a great way to do it. If you're not into buying the tool and you're at the right location, you might be able to go into that hardware store or other type place that rents tools. And you could rent what you need for the day or weekend, and that also is an option. What I mean by secret stash is making sure that you have enough material to make your project work. The thing is with this reclaimed wood, barnwood, is that you can't always just go ahead and get the same stuff. It's all different, every piece is unique, and if you can get the similar stuff all the way through, it's going to make your project look the way it's supposed to. That kind of goes into 2 parts. Part 1 is if you were doing all the milling, everything, and you were literally just buying wood right off the building. Then I would recommend getting 20 to 30% extra. Yeah, there's that much waste when you're making the perfect rectangle out of this stuff. The other part of it, if you're in the position where you're purchasing this type of barnwood from somebody else and it's already milled into perfect rectangles, ready to go up on the wall, or maybe it just needs the surface cleaned, then I would recommend making sure that you have an extra 10%. Maybe even 15%. That'll give you a little bit extra selection when it comes down to the nitty-gritty, you know, right at the end. Some of the stuff over time has got brittle, and you might find some stuff that's got a little bit of cracking in it, or it's just not suitable for the wall. It's just like standard operating procedure. So it's nice to have a little extra. Oh, hold on here. Hello, this is Troy.
Troy, hi.
Good, how are you doing this morning? Good. Tip 6, coat it, love it. With that out of the way, what was that? Here's what I was gonna say. Sorry, where was I? That was so rude of me. A little TLC with a clear coat before installing. Definitely note that before installing. Will keep it glowing for years. This is actually a really important tip to consider. Say around a hot tub surround where there's a lot of humidity. Same thing in bathrooms, even in kitchens as well. Not only will it wipe clean after multiple coats, I would say it's virtually sliver free, and it also keeps that moisture out. We say to put it on first because you're gonna wanna do all 4 sides. As you're putting it on and you're cutting it, you're gonna wanna also finish that one end. That will help your wood last a lot longer. Plus, if you also went with the option of staining this awesome barnwood, then of course, right there, it'll lock that in like long time. Whew, that was a doozy. Way too, okay, that's way too close. Back up, let's be friends here. What was I saying again? Oh, tip 7, let the natural light guide you. I understand the anticipation of having a feature wall and you've done all the work, you've milled it, or you've gone out and found it, it's perfect, it's ready, the trim's there, like your table's laid out, you're ready to go, right? And you're like, okay, let's start this thing. And then you just have that brief thought like, I wonder which wall I should put it on. Precisely in that moment, here is the answer. Take a minute, have a look around this space, right? Where and how does that natural light come in this room? Or is there any? With natural lighting, it's gonna hit the feature wall differently throughout the day, and it's gonna provide a different color. With all this considered, that'll answer that question right there. You just gotta sit back and relax. I mean, this can be done in the planning stages. Of course, this is the planning stage. Yeah, for sure. You can have a bonus, you can have a bonus, not you. Yes, you can have a bonus. And here it is, a little extra TLC when working with barnwood outside. More specifically, coating it with a clear coat so you don't have to stain it every single season. That's a huge tip right there. I'll save you a week in the summer. You're welcome. I can say that for a fact because I've saved myself a week. We have all kinds of barnwood all over the place, and what we found out is that if you have it outside, you're definitely going to want to seal it with a clear coat. I just thought I'd mention that. Ta-da! Those tips right there are gonna help you a long ways when doing feature walls, either for yourself, doing a do-it-yourself type project, or someone that's actually wanting to do more feature walls and install them in other people's places and houses and buildings and offices and wherever these beautiful things may end up. These tips for sure are gonna help. And if you found these helpful, then you're definitely gonna wanna check out this video here.